What is up, everyone? Here we are with a huge roundup of everything we've learned from the newest release from Game Informer. New information will be coming from Game Informer and other sources almost every day leading up to the launch of Breath of the Wild on March 3rd. So please like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any future news and analysis videos. I'm going to make this one very quick for everyone because today alone I've already posted 2 separate analysis videos of new trailers Nintendo has released, and an analysis video on the first boss and dungeon of Breath of the Wild. You can check those videos out after this one. Links will be in the description and the top pinned comment. So here's a detailed roundup of everything we've learned, with more coming soon. Obviously this is going to contain huge spoilers. Nintendo previously made Zelda games by making small areas and connecting them together. We've first seen this in Ocarina of Time, where there was a good sized Hyrule field, and then in different spots outside of Hyrule field you would find different locations like Kakiri Forest, Lake Hylia, Hyrule Castletown, with Lon Lon Ranch being directly in the middle. They expanded on this with Twilight Princess, where there was different sections of Hyrule Field, which was 4 to 5 times as large as it was in Ocarina of Time. But when you went to Kakariko Village, Lake Hylia, these other places, instead of it being connected to this huge open field, you would have to go down very narrow paths in order to get to that place. People didn't like this. It made this huge open world feel very, very restricted. So for Breath of the Wild, what they did is more akin to what they do in their 2D Zelda games, where they have this huge open world and all of the locations are inside Hyrule Field itself. So you'll just be casually walking along and then you'll come across a new village, town, or something like that. For Breath of the Wild, the team first had to figure out what needed to be placed on the map. Groups were created out of the over 300 devs to work on specific sections of the world. Game Informer's demo starts at Serene Stable. Yemo runs this place. Link can rest in a bed and restore health here. Stables also let you store horses, meet with merchants, and other NPCs. Stables are located throughout the world. Each one is run by a distinct character. You can spend rupees on a more expensive bed, giving you an extra heart the next morning. These hearts are yellow and can't be recovered if you're hit in combat. Spending time by fires in the world passes time. The game has a dynamic weather system with the world reacting as a result. An example being when it starts raining, NPCs outside the stable quickly run inside. Beetle is back to sell you goods. You have to be careful during a thunderstorm since your metal items can attract thunder. Alright, so whoever wrote this messed up. The metal items attract lightning, not thunder. Metal weapons and shields can be discarded or thrown at enemies. Link can get killed by lightning. See, there they go. Link can get killed by lightning, not thunder. Difficulty dips and spikes depending on where you are, since you can go around it and avoid it until you're stronger. So this is what typical RPGs do, where they have some areas where an enemy's, let's say for example, is level 80, where at another place the enemies are level 20, and it kind of keeps you on the path that you're supposed to go, because obviously you're not going to be able to defeat these more powerful enemies when you just start out. So even though you have the option to go there, and if you're good enough, you can get through and defeat all the enemies and level up a lot faster, or complete the game a lot faster, most people are only going to be able to go through the areas with the weaker enemies. This kind of keeps you on the narrative driven path that the developers want you to go on. But in Breath of the Wild, it's open for you to go anywhere and choose what you want to do. So if you want to go and take on the harder enemies, you can. So that's awesome. Breath of the Wild contains over 100 shrines. We actually know this is 120 shrines. You can find an item that identifies shrines, discover a shrine for it to be a fast travel point. So this is something a lot of people were asking about. Hyrule Field in this game is absolutely huge. So traveling from one side to the other would probably take you 30 to 45 minutes on a horse. So being able to fast travel is really going to be helpful. Shrines also give a spirit orb. Trade in orbs for unknown items. Now, we kind of thought the spirit orbs were going to be the collectible in this game, kind of the way that the gold Skulltulas were in Ocarina of Time, and I imagine they would work the same way. Once you get 10, once you get 20, 30, 40, 50, or all 100, or in this case all 120, you'll get better and better items and rewards as you turn them in. In this case, I was guessing once you get all 120, or every available spirit orb, since the spirit orbs go inside you and you prove yourself to be a hero, I think something similar would happen, like what happens in Twilight Princess once you collect all of the Tears of Light the first time, to where when you get turned back into a human from being a wolf, the light spirit there automatically puts you in the green tunic, because you've proven yourself to be the hero. So in this game, since you're getting the spirit orbs, and the elderly Sheikah at the end of the shrines say that you've proven yourself to be the hero, I think the exact same thing will happen to where you get the green tunic for proving yourself to be a hero, or having the spirit of the hero. But that's just my theory. What do you guys guys think? There was a dedicated team to handle AI. Bears, wolves, deer move through the snow. You can get overwhelmed by enemies quickly. Link can keep multiple horses at a time. Affection and loyalty are important with horses. Feed and take care of horses to raise their stats. You can call horses over to you, but horses need to be within a certain proximity to be called. So this is another thing that I was thinking about. The amiibo where it's Link on a horse, we don't know if the horse is a Pono or not, but I always assumed that you'd be able to tap the amiibo, and if you're too far away from a group of horses, or you're too far away from a stable to get your horse, then it'll automatically make a horse pop up near you, similar to how tapping Wolf Link will make Wolf Link pop up near you. But that's just my thoughts. Horses can be killed by enemies, we already kind of knew this. Aonuma wanted players to choose their own path, so no companion characters in this game. So we know this is kind of true. There's no companion characters like Navi or Midna or anyone like that, but the game does have companion characters where like Wolf Link is your companion character if you tap the Wolf Link amiibo. All of the races have their own champions, like the Gorons, the Rudo, the Zora. They can all act as companions in the game. So that's really cool as well. Stamina meter encompasses sprinting, paragliding, and climbing. Meters can be upgraded, but Nintendo won't say how. So we've already seen a great fairy in this game from one of the trailers. I assume just like Ocarina of Time and some other games, you're going to upgrade your stamina or your other meters by talking to these great fairies. Different shields have different speeds and level of control for snowboarding. You can mine rocks, which can be sold for rupees or used for crafting. You can place stamps to mark areas of interest. 100 of these symbols can be used on the map, including sword, shield, bow and arrow, pot, star, chest, skull, leaf, and diamonds. Every style of weapon has a unique set of animations and feel different. No invincible weapons in the game, Nintendo says. Alright, so we already know the Master Swords in this game. It's probably going to be the Unbreakable Sword. Just like in Skyward Sword, no matter how many times you upgraded your shield, only the Hylian shield was the only one that was unbreakable. So all the other shields, no matter how much you leveled them up, would always still break. So if the Hylian shield's in this game, I think it's going to be that one shield that just doesn't break. And as for other weapons, we've seen the Goron has a hammer, I believe the Zora has a bow, and each race has their own unique weapon. And they all share the same color palette as Link's Master Sword, the blue and gold theme. So I think at a certain point, these champions will give you their weapons, and it'll act as other unbreakable weapons. Like you'll have the unbreakable bow from the Zora, you'll have the unbreakable hammer, or the Megaton hammer, if they call it that in this game, from the Goron. And that's just my thoughts on that. Zelda can get mad at you and scold you. Players can see the ending without seeing everything from the story. So this is something else that we already knew. The game's going to have alternative endings. We don't know how many. We know there's going to be at least 2 endings for the game. You can see the ending if you beat Ganon, but obviously if you go through and you defeat all of the dungeons, you'll get the real ending. Similar to how in Link's Awakening, if you beat the entire game without dying, then you unlocked the true ending, which I think beating this entire game without dying would be an incredible task. So do you guys think you could do it? A certain element has been added in the game to make for a more cohesive storyline. So I'm not really sure what this is. If it's been added to the game after they started development. We know there's the quote from Aonuma where he said that he wanted to do something in the past games like 20 years ago, but he wasn't able to do, but he was finally able to do it in Breath of the Wild, so that could be it, whatever it was. And we also know the Sheikah Slate was put in the game kind of late. All of the footage from the first few years that we've seen Breath of the Wild had no Sheikah Slate in it. Then all of a sudden when they showed us Twilight Princess HD, we seen Link with the Sheikah Slate. I thought it was personally the Book of Medora, but it turns out it was the Sheikah Slate. So that could be the item they were talking about. It was the most difficult Zelda game to make. Aonuma is still finding new things in the world. And then it goes on to talk about the dungeon, which again I have a full analysis video that goes a little bit more in depth on the dungeon and the main boss. So check that out if you want more details. I'll just go over this one really quick. Nintendo took Game Informer directly to a dungeon. This dungeon is constantly moving. So it's probably one of the giant guardians we see. There's the one flying in the air that belongs to the Rito. There's the one that belongs to the Gorons that's climbing Death Mountain. And we know the Gerudo and the Zora have their own as well. Game Informer says Link can manipulate the entire enormous mechanism through his own ingenuity. So I wonder if this means you'll actually be able to ride it. Like if you get on the giant bird guardian, are you going to be able to ride it from Death Mountain to the Lost Woods or wherever? Players can skip dungeons if they want to go straight to Calamity Ganon. Again, this is something that we already knew. The substance known as Malice covers the dungeon. This is the weird slime ooze stuff that we've seen on the giant gears. Link gets hurt if he touches it. No duh. I thought that would be kind of obvious. It can be destroyed by finding and attacking each pocket of Malice's eyeball. That sounds kind of gross. Sheikah Slate serves as Link's map, binoculars, and more. We already kind of knew this as well. Use the slate in the dungeon to see a 3D model, tilt the entire dungeon from here. Alright, so you can create a 3D model using the Sheikah Slate, but then you can turn the Sheikah Slate and it makes the entire dungeon rotate as well. That is awesome. Doing so slides blocks into place and opens up angles you can use to paraglide to new locations. A voice tells you that you need to access terminals with the slate across the dungeon marked on your map. All bombs in the game are remote and don't blow up on a timer. So that means after you throw the bomb or you roll the bomb, you have to press another button to have the bomb detonate. Back in Ocarina of Time, when you picked up a bomb, you would have 5 or 10 seconds before it would blow up, and it would start flashing faster and faster to let you know that it was about to detonate. But in this game, you have to actually press a button in order for it to detonate. This could make certain puzzles that require the use of bombs a lot easier. Simpler approach with dungeons in Breath of the Wild. That's kind of funny because you would think it would be a little bit more complicated after everything that they've just got done telling us. Game Informer didn't see the familiar chest opening animations and signature music. That sucks. Never found a signature Zelda item or compass. Again, this is something else that sucks. One of the things that I hated the most about A Link Between Worlds was that there wasn't really any dungeon items. You had to get the items before you went into the dungeon, which was kind of cool for that one game, but I hate that it's doing the same thing again. Because one of the biggest things that I always loved about going into dungeons was finding out what the mini boss was, what the dungeon item was, and what the main boss was. And if there's no dungeon items inside the dungeon, then to me it kind of feels like a letdown. Like going into a new dungeon not knowing whether you're going to get like a claw shot, a bow and arrow, a hammer, something like that, a boomerang. It's part of why I like Zelda. When Blight Ganon is the dungeon boss here, the voice tells you it's one of Ganon's own, it plays dirty. When Blight Ganon is a huge monster, has no face, with a gun-like arm. When Blight Ganon can create tornadoes and will fire large spikes. So obviously to me, Wind Blight Ganon, to me, wind, obviously that's going to be on the Rito's Guardian, the giant bird that we've seen flying around. A lot of us thought it was an airship or a floating island similar to City in the Sky. So where this one's Wind Blight Ganon, perhaps the other versions of him is like a water version of Ganon, stuff like that. But again, I have another video that goes a lot more in depth than this, so check it out if you want. And I guess that brings us to an end, so please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and thank you for watching. If you would like even more Zelda news, please subscribe and check out my other recent videos. I have several different videos all containing different information from Miyamoto, Aonuma, and others working on Breath of the Wild. It's all very interesting stuff that has to do with the timeline, Zelda's role in the game, Goron, Zora's, and other races acting as side companions similar to Wolf-Link, and much more. If you enjoyed this video, you'll love the others as well. What's up everybody, really quick before we get to the usual end slate, I wanted to mention a quick update for this channel. I'm trying to bring together a few new series other than the usual discussions and news videos that we do. I would like to bring quality reviews, let's plays, do more live streams, a top 10 series, and more analysis videos. However, to do this, I need your help. Between being a new father, YouTube, and my real job, I don't have the time to work on all of these videos. So I would like to bring on other people who can help out from time to time, like Sasizi and others who have helped host and edit videos before. To make this all happen, and to get awesome rewards for yourself, head over to patreon.com/GameOverJesse, where you can get shoutouts and videos, join our group Discord and chat with us whenever you want, be a guest on some of our videos, and much more. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. I would like to give a huge thank you to this month's Patreons for their support: George Martinez, Glenn Cassio, Hinhu Tienin, Lunarium, Magic Tech Review, The Itch Network, and Harris Priest. Thank you all for everything, and it's because of your support that I'm able to find the time to do these videos. If you would also like to support this channel, head over to patreon.com/GameOverJesse, where you can find all kinds of great rewards like joining on a video, being added onto our Discord chat, having your discussion or topic featured on one of our videos, and much more, including having your own custom artwork similar to my own, drawn of you in any anime or video game style you would like. Finally, I would like to give a huge thank you to Gnomo Designs and CS Guitar 89 for providing the music and artwork for this channel.